good morning, curling fans, and welcome to the women's quarterfinal matchups here at the AMJ Players Championship, our 5th event this season on the Grand Slam of Curling. A couple quick announcements before we meet the teams. If you want to watch the game on ice level, you can do so in the Jackpot City Lounge. You do not need a VIP pass. You do not need any special ticket. You can head on down there. Up close and on ice level, the bar is open. Also, I want to say a big welcome to Girl Guys coming in today. They are a special guest that are going to be taking in the action. And of course, cookies are on sale on the East Concourse. Speaking of concourse, I want to encourage you to check out all the sponsors who are set up on both sides of the arena. Lots of great contests and giveaways for you to check out and have your chance
when victory
to win.
hangs in the balance.
Reminder, there will be music tonight at Grand Slam of Karaoke. That's located on Young Street at the Courtyard by Marriott Hotel. Tickets are on sale at the Rock Shop on the West Concourse, so you can pick those up. You don't want to miss it. Coming up shortly is the women's quarterfinals here in the AMJ Players Championship.
When it comes to the game we love, having the right gear makes all the difference.
Gold Line's new curling shoes and brooms are a game changer.
The shoes, unbelievably comfortable.
And the brooms, lightweight and effective, giving you control on every sweep.
When I step onto the ice, I'm not just prepared, I look sharp.
Have you seen these shoes? They are a game changer.
And the brooms, light as a feather.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
And it's the choice of champions.
Does he have it? Yes, he does! What a shot! John Schuster! Oh my goodness! A third of a roll! We gotta not kill that. It's gotta just be in the catch zone.
I mean, my gut is like hack to board and just roll 3 feet. 2 feet.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's probably just half.
You're always touching the 6.
I don't know that this leaves the 4-foot with half. Yeah, instead, no, it's just, it's gonna go spinning. This actually might catch 2 and just leak back. Okay, so it might, yeah. Close to that.
Focus on the players and sometimes you just put ears on the you need to do science, show what we meant instead of just a shot.
Now does it have the speed? They like the line. Does it have the speed? They're going hard for line. You have to get by this top yellow. Trevor Johnson leaning on it. He's by it. Now does it stop in time? Has to stop in time. What a shot from Highland Kleider. We thought it was maybe the hardest option up from the booth, but that's why we're not down there.
Stood at the pinnacle of curling and battled in the most intense game. Out on the ice, there's no room for compromise. And when the pressure's on, every millimeter counts. It's not just a game. It's about maximizing performance, pushing limits, seizing victory. When victory hangs in the balance, I know what I'm relying on. It's a Gold Line. It's a Gold Line. It's a Gold Line. And it's the choice of champions.
Hasselborg. Their opponents, throwing the Yellow Rocks with a round-robin record of 3-2, throwing in a Chungcheon, Korea, Team Ha! And on Sheet B, first up, throwing the Red Rocks with a round-robin record of 3-2, throwing in a Sapporo, Japan, Team Yoshimura! And throwing the Yellow Rocks with a round-robin record of 4-1 from Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, Team Home! Momentarily, good luck to all, and good curling.
Hello, curling fans, and welcome back to continuing coverage of the AMJ Players Championship live from the Mattamy Athletic Centre here in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. It is women's quarterfinal action between Team Anna Hasselborg and Team Sungyoon Ha. Winner moves on to the semifinal against Silvana Tirinzoni. Loser goes home. John Cullen alongside two-time Scotties champion Chelsea Carey for this quarterfinal matchup. And Chelsea, two teams playing well. It does look like Sungyoon Ha, though, going to be playing at a deficit this morning. We don't see Soo Jin Kim out there, so you've probably played some games with 3 before. How does that affect the team? They've been with 4 all week, now all of a sudden with 3. How do you sort of manage that as a team?
Yeah, it's not the easiest. I have seen them do it before, so I think they have some experience with it, but it would be almost easier if you had done it that way all week. The good news is that those 2 players up front get to throw 3 rocks each instead of 2, so from a shot-making standpoint, it actually can be beneficial. Where it gets hard is the sweeping, and not just the physical part of the sweeping, but the communication. You don't have that checkpoint, that person going the back. Usually the outside sweeper's job mainly is to communicate between the sweepers and the person in the house, and now you don't have that. So as the sweeper, you have to kind of take on everything, and that can be really challenging.
So we'll see how they manage it here. Anna Hasselborg starting with the hammer in the first end by virtue of their better record coming into this game, sitting 4-1. Sungyoon Ha sitting at 3-2. Team Ha curling out of Chuncheon, South Korea. As we said, Soo Jin Kim not here on the bench this morning, or, well, probably not feeling well, I'm guessing. It's watching, not on the metaphorical bench, but we do have, I guess, throwing the first 3 rocks, Tae Young, and then throwing the second 3 rocks, Hee-Rin Kim, and then, of course, the skip is Sungyoon Ha. And we see the center guard up here for Team Ha, and right around it is Sophia Mabergs. Not much sweeping here from Hee-Rin Kim, as this is going to go right by on the freeze attempt. And we get a look at Anna Hasselborg's squad from Sundbyberg, Sweden. Skip is Anna Hasselborg, 3rd Sarah McManus, 2nd Agnes Knockenhauer, and lead is Sophia Mabergs. They're the 2022 Players Champion. When they won that event, that clinched the career Grand Slam for them. They became the first women's team to achieve that feat back in 2022. And they are the, I guess, de facto defending champions, winning the WFG Masters in Guelph. Made the final in St. John's before that. It's been a very good run for Anna Hasselborg as of late. Yeah, that's a very nice shot there from Sophia. So some early trouble here for the Koreans.
Yeah, big trouble early. That draw, that freeze being missed is one thing, but that was missed by a lot. And to go all the way back far enough that Anna Hasselborg can draw in there, stay well above the T-line and still sit 2 was a pretty big miss. So they're going to need to clean up this mess here a little bit right now.
So Tae Young with the run back called. Uh-oh.
It's not going to help.
Hasselborg continuing to lie 2 with the hammer here. Calling to split the house.
Interesting. I think I might throw another guard or 2.
I was going to say, yeah.
It feels early to do this, especially now when she was running it back when it was her own color. It was a easier shot for Team Ha. Now it would be your color if you were to throw a guard. I would throw a couple guards here.
Is that just a case of it being the first end? You maybe don't want to get caught early on?
I guess. Those rocks are in such a good spot. This is it's not the wrong call. It's just more defensive than I would expect Anna Hasselborg to be, given the experience level and how well they've played this week. Now, that being said, they did lose their game last night, so maybe a little gun shy after that.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, definitely could be the case. I agree with you. We do usually like to see... Sorry, Anna Hasselborg likes to see rocks in play.
지금 3개 보면은 얘 내려올 것 같고 얘는 여기 쓸 것 같고 퍼지기만 할 것 같아서 이 정도. 2개 안 나갈까? 아니면 제일 위에 있는 것만 세워두고 그거랑 더블 보는 거 어때? 그거는 괜찮다. 여기 조금 더 뒤쪽에도 괜찮아. 좀만 더.
One thing you will see out of this Team Ha, love to drain their clock. They get real close. They'll take time to discuss shots, and you almost always see them call a timeout in the first half of the game as well. So look forward to that.
Yeah, they also, all of them, now there's only 3 today, but usually that's not the case. All of them go down to discuss a lot of shots. It's actually a miracle that they come to slams and are able to play with a time clock, because when you play them in a curling club event, your 8-end game is 3 hours.
Oh,
like, it is crazy how slow they are.
So Hee-Rin Kim with a pretty nice shot there, was looking for the triple, couldn't quite get rid of that last Team Hasselborg stone, but very nice shot, and perhaps to your point, Chelsea, maybe, or I guess validating your point that maybe it was a little early to draw that open side, as 3 no longer on the table for Team Hasselborg.
Yeah, and I'm not sure they were getting 3 anyway, but this is now going to be hard to keep your deuce alive, which is why I thought with those rocks positioned as nicely as they were, there's just really not a lot of risk in throwing the guard. So now you're going to have to try to keep an open deuce alive for more than half an end. That's just hard to do, to not set up a double, and Team Ha can throw it very hard. So you got to like their chances of making one of the next 4 double attempts.
Yeah, this one's a little steep with where that Agnes Knockenhauer rock ended up. But looks like they are eyeing it up here for Hee-Rin Kim.
It's not too bad. It's probably 1/3 of a rock, thin 1/3. Quarter would make it as well, I think. She softed that a little bit on release, though, so this one should curl. It's close. Nice shot.
Very nice from Hee-Rin Kim. Cleanup duty for the normal 3rd for Team Ha. Makes a double on her first and a double on her second, and just like that, we are probably heading for a blank here. These 2 teams did meet in the round robin as well. Anna Hasselborg was a 6-3 winner. Ha also lost to Gim, but they beat Fujisawa, and Tabata did the Japanese double, and then they needed a win against Silvana Tirinzoni and found it yesterday to get into the playoffs. They're the only team to beat Tirinzoni in this Players' Championship so far. And I feel like that's sort of indicative of this young Ha team. They can play really good, they can beat anyone on tour, but they are still young and do have games where they look their age and their experience level, I'd say.
Yeah, they're a little bit of a roller coaster. The consistency just isn't quite there. The ceiling is incredibly high as we see them come out and beat the best teams in the world, but then they'll show up the next game and play quite poorly against a team that they should beat. And so it's just that consistency, which honestly is a struggle for 90% of curling teams in the world.
Exactly.
So that's not a criticism by any means, but we do see that little bit of inconsistency still. But they, to your point, that's expected from a young team, and they'll just get better and better at that as they play in these events.
Yeah, no question. They're coming in as the number 11 ranked team, so the 2nd lowest ranked team in the field. Anna Hasselborg coming in ranked number 3. And for Anna Hasselborg, their only loss came at the hands of Silvana Tirinzoni last night. They were 4-0 coming into their game against Tirinzoni. Had they won that, they would have got the semifinal bye, but unfortunately losing that to Tirinzoni, and by virtue of last stone draw, finding themselves in the quarterfinal instead of the semis.
You'd think that that'll make them a little mad, and the winner, the winner of this game does get Team Tirinzoni, so they'll want to win this game and get a shot at revenge in the semifinal for sure.
So a wide open house here after that rollout by Sarah McManus. And this is a nice opportunity for Seung-Yoon Ha to map out this draw to the button. Sung Yoon Ha winning the World Junior silver medal back in 2020, losing that final to Mackenzie Zacharias, and also won the World University silver back in 2023, losing that final to Team Han from China. So very experienced team, and they play a ton. And, you know, you talk about building that consistency piece, Chelsea. I feel like that is certainly one way to do it. They have played in, I'm just doing some very quick math here, that this is their 16th event of the season.
Yeah, every time I look at their schedule, I get exhausted. It's just insane. But
yeah,
they do it every year, and I guess they're young, and they've got the energy for that.
Why
But
not?
I look at it, and I'm not young, and I go, holy smokes.
I'm tired looking at it.
Yeah, that's just my team's always played a lot, you know, for the time. But now a lot of these, we see a lot of it, especially the Asian teams, they just play every weekend. They come to Canada and they play back to back to back to back to back for 4, 5, 6 weeks. And I don't know how they do it and how their bodies are still in one piece, but it's impressive, and it is a way to fast track your road to consistency by playing that much.
Totally. Final stone here for Sung Yoon Ha in the first end. It's just an open hit. Would love to stick around to force Anna into a shot for the blank. Well, and the thing is, too, you know, Chelsea, we see these teams here at the Players this week, and a lot of them who have gotten eliminated. You know, we saw them last night at the arena talking with some of them, and obviously you don't love to be eliminated, but there is a bit of a sense of, okay, I'm taking a breath now. Season's over, going to get a little bit of time to relax. For these Korean teams, their Olympic trials are in June.
Wow.
So and that's often when they have the Korean national championships as well. So that's kind of, it's not a surprise timeline for them. But yeah, the Korean Olympic trials coming up in June, they're going to be hotly contested. Ha, Gim, Kim, Kang, they're all very much in the conversation to represent Korea at the Olympics in Cortina. So won't be a break for these teams, really. Maybe go home and take a week or two off, and then they're going to be back on the ice and getting ready for the Olympic trials. And Anna Hasselborg getting ready to throw this final stone here. Blank attempt. Sophia Maberg's on this right out of the hand. Do they have enough to get it out of the rings? Agnes Knockenhauer trying to sweep for the blank, and they just get it out of the rings. Great combination effort there from Sophia and Agnes. Anna does get the blank, but not without a little stress. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatoon in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbeck coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsoctickets.com. Let's rock!
After kind of looking set up for 2 or maybe even a higher score early in the end, elected to play a little defensive, and would have thought if she didn't make that blank that it was one that got away. But great sweep from Knockenhauer and Mabergs, and they managed to put the zeros on the board.
Yeah, when that rock hit, I didn't think it was getting out of the house. We have seen these houses be more dead than we're used to. The rocks aren't springing off each other quite as aggressively as we're used to seeing in these arena events, so I didn't think that was going to get out of there. Great sweep by Agnes to make sure of that blank, because yeah, it's not the end of the world to get forced in one, but when you didn't really try to set up a 2 when you had a really good opportunity to do that, then you really, really don't want to miss that blank.
Yes, exactly. I think you're totally right. Some blanks, some forces, or you feel good about almost. You go, ooh, we had a bad end, made a really good draw to the lid, maybe get our 1. Okay, that's fine. But yes, you never want to give up a cheap force, and that's what that certainly would have been had that blank attempt not rolled out. So great sweep. And we'll reset here for end number 2, see if we get a few more rocks in play in this end. We got a couple guards up early. Anna Hasselborg electing to throw that corner guard, Chels. So we're in for it here.
Yeah, that tells me she's looking to set up the 2. When you go around the center guard, it's a bit more of a defensive play. You're trying to keep the blank alive potentially while setting up 2. When you throw the corner guard, it's an all-out 2, and if you get forced to 1, you're okay with that.
아, 못 쨌다.
Okay, so you saw Anna and Sungyoon having a conversation there. Anna just wanting to see if Sungyoon would agree that this center guard was not touching the center line, just in case Sophia Mabergs is tight on this. They wouldn't have to replace the guard. It did look like Anna got the agreement from Sungyoon that it was not touching.
Yeah, that's what I thought when it stopped. It doesn't look like it is when you see it on the camera angle here. You can tell it's not quite touching.
Doesn't matter though. Mabergs clears it by quite a margin and doesn't quite get to the nose of that yellow as a result, but Hasselborg lies one here. Maybe a little surprised, Chelsea, with that corner guard going up, that Anna decided to chase that one and not just wrap the corner.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised too, but it seems like they're purposely taking a slightly more defensive approach to the start of this game for whatever reason.
Hee-Rin Kim trying to bring this over. This Korean team going to need to be mindful of the jam here at the back of the house. That's a nice carve there from Hee-Rin, and Team Ha lies two.
That's the great thing about sitting down where it's on.
Trying to hit and roll behind the corner here is Agnes Knockenhauer. This is really hanging though. Sarah McManus is going to have to bring this over a ton. Just barely gets that yellow rock out of the house. So an opportunity here for Team Ha. Already lying one, got the center guard up.
That is probably the straightest spot on the sheet. We've seen that all week. This sheet appears to be slanted slightly towards the crowd. So when they're throwing that shot away from that crowd, the rock is kind of trying to climb a hill a little bit.
Yeah, it didn't seem like that one really ever had a chance. Tae-Yong on this right out of the hand. Sungyoon Ha coming out to help with the sweep here. This looks like it's all over the center guard. Oh, not all over it, just a little gentle kiss, but in any case, quite light from Hee-Rin Kim. And you're right here, Chelsea. Definitely a little more of a defensive move here from Anna, too. You could draw around these staggered center guards, but they're electing to double peel.
Yeah, I actually don't mind this one because you could roll your shooter to a corner guard potentially and just keep that middle open at this point. Based on how this end has gone, I don't think Anna would be that sad to blanket again. That is less than ideal.
Worst case scenario almost. Misses the back one too, so another look at that. It just over curled on Sarah McManus and missed everything, leaves two center guards up.
Yeah, if you hit that a little thinner, your shooter would have rolled over towards your other corner guard more, and that yellow would have spilled as well. So would have opened up the forefoot for Anna Hasselborg, but as it stands, good opportunity here for Team Ha to sink one.
Weight certainly looks better from Hee-Rin Kim here. Needed to stop, actually. So too light on her first, too heavy on her second. And you can see, Chelsea, I don't think Anna really wants to be playing around the center guards right now, but...
No, she definitely doesn't. She's looking at maybe the double peel again.
Yeah, her initial thought was she kind of tapped to draw and gave a little shrug, like, I don't really want to do this.
Yeah, exactly.
But maybe we have to. So trying the double peel, and I think trying to roll the rock they're running in onto the rings too.
Yeah, in a perfect world, you would. That part is a bit of a bonus. Just make sure you make the double peel. But it is possible for sure to spin that over that top red over into the rings.
It's close. So it makes the double peel, doesn't roll the red onto the rings, but it's looking a little better than it was.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. I think that by playing that, you're accepting the possibility that you might be forced here, but wanting to make sure you don't give up a steal. If you play the draw around, that's your way to set up two, but it's also the easiest way to give up a steal. So this way, Anna should have an open shot for one.
Yeah, especially with that Ha rock being in the back four, not an ideal steal scenario for the South Koreans. It is a guard going up here for Hee-Rin Kim.
라인 그대로 가죠. 웨이트만.
언니 빠르다 좀.
라인은 그대로야?
라인 좀 위로야.
그대로.
라인 그대로야.
더 떨어지면 안 돼.
아,
조금 오버팔 된다.
들어올 것 같아. 15-3.
And again, Hee-Rin having a little bit of trouble with her weight control. That's 3 shots in a row where she didn't really get the rock where she wanted it. But it's not horrible there. They are still lying 3 without the hammer.
빨리 이쯤인데.
근데 가드 있으니까 우리가 마지막에 날아가면 하나도 처음에도 그냥.
나라.
Double try here for Sarah McManus. And they won't quite get it, just a little wide, and kind of what you were talking about, Chelsea, just the teams, especially with that bigger weight, having trouble finding exactly where to put the broom or exactly how to throw the rock to make the shot.
Yeah, I do think part of the consideration there, though, was making the roll, and they did get that part. So it's one of those where the double, you sort of just play the roll and hope that the double hits right, and I do think they could have made it, but roll being maybe a little bit more important there even.
안쪽 80까지 괜찮아. 여기 안쪽 잡아.
Yeah, great roll from Sarah McManus. I didn't even notice that. I was too busy focused on the yellow rock at the back of the house.
80, 85.
That's what I'm here for.
Thank you, I appreciate it. I need someone to help me out. Sung Yoon Ha chasing this double. And not there for her. And leaves the guard there too. And all of a sudden this has turned into a pretty good 2 opportunity for Anna Hasselborg.
With not a lot of risk, and that was all by design with the double peels, and not throwing the draw around the center guard was to, if you end up with a chance for a deuce, great, but at least you're going to have a makeable shot for one, and a really good roll by Sarah McManus. A slight miscue there by Team Ha, and now here's your opportunity for 2.
Yeah, got to make this double, but it's not too challenging. I think we'd expect Anna to make it. It's about 4 feet of separation between the 2 stones, maybe even a little less than that, 3 feet. Have to stick the shooter, though. First rock of the second end, Anna Hasselborg. And just like that, very nice from Anna Hasselborg. I think this is the first time all end they've lied shot stone, but they're lying too.
It's a really good time.
Yeah, really good time to do it. Yeah.
We always say you don't have to be shot till the end, and they waited till the end.
That's true. I'm guessing they're playing fairly aggressively for the roll here, Chels.
Yeah, I think so. If you roll out, you leave her a draw to the ocean, but if you don't make the roll, you leave her a wide open hit. So I think you may as well try it if you could ever get it at least half tucked, make her throw something a little bit harder.
A draw to the ocean. I like that. So last rock, Sung Yoon Ha trying to find any way to make Anna Hasselborg's life difficult, but she's not going to find it with that. And so here it is, a draw to the ocean, maybe the North Sea, if we're speaking in Swedish terms.
I didn't make that one up, but I honestly don't remember where I got it from.
The Gulf of Bothnia, perhaps.
I thought everybody knew it. I didn't realize.
Well, I mean, maybe I've heard it before, but I don't. If I have, I don't remember it. So it feels like a Winnipeg thing.
Maybe. It's very possible.
It's got a bit of a Winnipeg curling slang feel to it to me.
Well, that would track. I did learn most of my curling slang in Winnipeg.
As one does. So here we go, final stone. Anna Hasselborg just needs to hit paint or hit the North Sea if you prefer. Nothing at all from Agnes and Sophia. This looks heavy. Ooh, boy, this is going to need to slow down.
At a 14-1, I think it'll stop.
Here comes Hee-Rin Kim to try and usher it out of the back of the house, but Chelsea's timing on point. It stops in time, so 2 on the board for Anna Hasselborg. We'll get our first look at Sung Yoon Ha with the hammer when we come back.
Every day you go new places. A small change in how you do things, or moving your things to a whole new town, or many things to many towns all at once. No matter how small the move, it can be a big leap from where you are now. You've got it in you to go new places. So do we. We go there every day. We're here to help you move to places on the map, in the mind, in the heart, or all three.
Go new places with AMJ Campbell. Contact us at 888-AMJ-MOVE or amjcampbell.com.
A well-managed second end for Team Hasselborg. Putting 2 on the board with low risk as Sophia Mabergs gets us started here in the third end. We'll see what Sung Yoon Ha can do with the hammer here. One of those ends, you know, Ha didn't play it horribly, just couldn't quite get their rocks in the right place. Hee-Rin Kim a little off on the weight, and Anna Hasselborg makes them pay.
Yeah, it was a conservative way to approach that, but really smart. And all you need is one good roll and then one slight miss, and they got both of those things and put 2 on the board.
This looks a little heavy here from Tae Yong. Hee-Rin Kim not touching this at all, but it does stop in time right on the AMJ International logo. So a draw around here for Sophia Mabergs.
Open hit for 2. There's Sayaka. 4 foot for the second point. Carve, throw enough, just enough. It will be a 2.
And draw made. Sophia Mabergs seems pretty dialed into draw weight here so far. I think that's 6 in a row for her. And now we are going to see Ha go around the corner guard. So we're getting cooking here. We're cooking, baby. Yeah, I think a lot of curling fans very familiar with certainly the Kim and Gim duo that have been leading South Korean curling for the last little while. Sung Yoon Ha has obviously found her way into that conversation, but Bobae Kang has also kind of just quietly crept up the world rankings, sitting at number 21 right now. So when we talk about those Olympic trials for Korea, it's any one of those 4 teams you'd imagine would have a shot at representing Korea. It'll be a good tournament to watch. I don't know if we'll have the opportunity to watch it, but it certainly would be fun. This is going to rack the corner guard for Agnes Knockenhauer, but that's a pretty fortuitous roll. That's almost the ideal shot.
That is the ideal shot for sure.
That is dead frozen.
That's one of those ones where you're like, I can't call this because it's so hard to make it perfect. But man, if we ever chisel this guard, it might be bonanza, and it is.
Yeah, just couldn't have rolled. I mean, those rocks are as dead frozen as you can get. One nice thing for Korea's lineup, missing Soo Jin. Are they playing a tick here? I was going to say, I thought they were playing a potential run back or peel, but I was going to say this is their normal second, so would be familiar with throwing the upweight shots, but this is not upweight, and this is right on the nose of this red one. Uh-oh. I mean, it is better than it was.
It is slightly better than it was.
Only slightly, but better. Yeah, I was a little surprised not to see them play the run back.
I think idea being that because Team Hasselborg did manage to chip that yellow guard over, if you made it with that soft weight, you're trying to stick it. You're not even trying to touch the rocks in the house. You're just trying to play a soft weight hit and roll. But
yeah.
Must have just helped that one a little bit because that is a straighter side, but it was curling right out of her hand, so maybe just a little bit of a softer release.
Agnes Knockenhauer going after this open yellow stone in the wings. Don't want to roll too close to that pile of reds.
Yeah, that's not great.
A little surprised maybe to see Sung Yoon Ha not looking at this double.
Yeah, me too.
I feel like you got a bit of an error there from Knockenhauer. I'd be tempted to try to take advantage of that.
I'm with you. I mean, I see what they're saying because they're running their own rock in, so you could make the run double and roll your shooter off a tiny bit, and it's maybe even a little bit better, but it's also a lot harder.
So Hee-Rin Kim looked like she slid a little tight there and pitched that.
Big set. That's not going to come back.
Well, they will get rid of one red stone, but wasn't the one they were hoping to get rid of. Well, then they were hoping to get rid of 2, so. Yeah, just not a great slide there, didn't look like, from Hee-Rin Kim, and Team Hasselborg going to continue to apply the pressure here, already lying 2, throwing a guard here with Sarah McManus's first.
Saw that last time.
Really good center guard there from Sarah McManus. So good Anna Hasselborg couldn't hold onto her broom anymore. Might have over-curled slightly, but I think it does the job.
It definitely over-curled slightly. You could not run this. You could play this quiet and try to get to somewhere close to nose, even 3/4 of a rock, tap that back red out of the 8-foot, and stay frozen on the red that's left there, but it looks like they're looking at the run back.
Well, we'll see if the third time's the charm here for Hee-Rin Kim. They've been chasing this run back all end. Haven't been able to find it yet. It's a much better slide. But it did look like maybe that in-turn is just rolling over a little bit.
Great shot.
Yeah, really good from Hee-Rin Kim. One of the Reds does stick around, but...
Yeah, not sure you could have done that very much better, really.
No.
I guess throw it harder, but that was pretty hard.
Yeah, great throw from Hirin. Draw now for Sarah McManus. Seemed like a bit of a fight there between Anna and Sarah about what they wanted the line call to be. Didn't quite get that swoop finish though, Chelsea. I thought once they kind of got around that AMJ logo, it would finish a little harder than it did.
Yeah, hung out there a little bit. Mostly buried though still.
If you're Ha, would you ever consider coming around everything here?
Yeah, I might. This is feeling a little force-ish to me if I'm Team Ha, so it might be time to change gears. It's a little risky though, because you are keeping that play in the center and shrinking your scoring area, and it's hard to be above the tee line and buried, but I definitely would be looking at it.
Well, they didn't look at it at all. they were pretty dead set on throwing this run again, so 3 run backs in a row, Hirin Kim.
If you could stick the run back, you might set up your 2 that way, potentially.
This is really curling. Ooh, lucky not to go right through the hole there. Now, does this stick around? Sarah McManus trying to get it out, and she will. So Hasselborg continuing to lie 1 here. No hammer, no problem so far for the Swedes.
Det är svårt att lägga sig någonstans, Jenny. Alltså det känns lite lättare med rakknackar fartmässigt, för då kan du våga spela den farten. Bara rakknacka. Ja, verkligen. Jag tror till och med att du har råd med ännu mindre om du vill. Ja. Nej, så kör vi så långt. Nej, så mycket avstånd som möjligt, men så att hon inte spelar bra. Nej, gott på.
So a long discussion here. What did they end up deciding on, Chelsea? I think they were trying to just tap the rock back or something.
Yeah, that's my guess. You don't really want to go around corner guards, because if you do it wrong, you might leave a chance for 2. So my guess is it's a tap on the shot stone right now. But that's not a lot of ice for that, so it's possible she's just drawing the open side as well. Oh, it looks like the tap.
Trying not to leave an easy double with this.
That's pretty close to perfect.
Yeah,
the
really
double is
good.
there, but they made it longer by tapping it deep. So decision time now for Team Ha. They're talking about playing the freeze.
근데 이게 테이크 보다가 얘가 안 건드려주면 마지막 드로우존이 너무 좁아지는 것 같아서.
Couple options here for Ha. You could play the double and maybe try to find your way into a blank, or you could try this freeze.
This just surprises me with the way they played the rest of the end. It just feels like a bit of a pivot when they were throwing run backs when they could have thrown much easier draws earlier.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think also too this freeze, it's great if you make it, but it is also a shot where you get forced a lot of the time.
Yeah, exactly. I think if you play the double, you could even play it across the face. Make sure you roll your shooter away so that even if you don't make it, even if you were to jam it or something, you should have at least an open hit for your single point, because Anna's probably going to chase your shooter, which would be somewhere in the house. So this is a lot of risk for, I think, not a huge reward unless you get a pretty significant miss out of Anna next.
First rock, Sung-Yoon Ha, third end. Trying a freeze, trying to generate something here, has been chasing the entire end.
라인 좋아. 라인 진짜 좋아. 라인 좋아. 라인 진짜 좋아. 웨이트 가자. 야 그대로야. 야! 가야 돼. 라인 진짜 좋아. 웨이트 계속 가야 돼. 괜찮아.
And that's really good from Sung-Yoon Ha, particularly with one sweeper. Welds it right to it, but this is what I was talking about, Chelsea. I think if Anna can weld right back, really difficult to score two for Sung-Yoon.
Yeah, it's not, I mean, it's probably as good as she could have made it, really, but if Anna gets to the nose of this, I don't know how you get your second point.
Looks like Anna might be hitting here.
Yeah, just a quiet wait. I think if you don't hit, you run the risk of leaving her a combo because the yellow will be sandwiched in there and won't go anywhere. So you don't need to kill this back rock. You just want to move it at least back a little bit. But it looks like with that ice, they're throwing something around like a bumper or a board, would be my guess.
Yeah, it does look like they're trying to kill the back one with that ice.
Bowman retains hammer and is trailing 2-1 out of the fourth. Yeah, I already had.
Last rock, Anna Hasselborg. Just playing a quiet weight hit. Would love to stay right on the nose of this yellow stone. Really can't afford to roll off at all here. That's pretty good, I think. Over curled a hair.
Yeah, but I don't think there's anything you can do with it for Team Ha.
Take another look at it here. Well managed by Nockenhauer and Maubergs. Yeah, Ha is shot. I don't know if she has anything for two.
No. I think that's just a throwing it away.
I would imagine, yeah.
Yeah, anything that you take on, first of all, I don't think the shot's there, but anything that you take on, you run the risk of giving up a steal, and your shot stone right now, so can't really
maybe even a steal of two.
Exactly, yeah. So you can't really afford to do anything but throw this away, I don't think. Which will be mission accomplished for Team Hasselborg.
Yeah, no question. Very well played end for Team Hasselborg. And Sung-Yoon Ha trying to throw this through the hole, which is fine enough, but I would be tempted to, I don't know why teams don't just throw this into the pads. That's my kind of, throw it into the sideboards, you know? Why risk a pick and end up somewhere near the pile? But in any case, it comes off okay for Ha. They will get forced to one. Hasselborg will have the hammer again in the fourth.
Let me say what's best for me, to feel at ease, to feel happy. Lovely weather with the breeze, the simplest things. Sad love.
Rio Mare. Great taste means little. Prime quality tuna and selected olive oil. Rio Mare, the real taste of Italy.
Anna Hasselborg in control here so far, leading 2-1 and with the hammer as we move into the fourth end. And I think what has been notable so far, Chelsea, is not only is Hasselborg in the lead, but it's been very comfortable. They've never really been in much distress in any of the first 3 ends.
No, playing a little bit more defensively, which has worked out really well for them. And then had Team Ha chasing all of last end, and then I still question that last call by Sun Yun Ha. It's one of those where it might be an experience thing where all of a sudden you throw this freeze that doesn't really have very much upside. It's a really hard shot with not a lot of upside, and she made it perfect and still got forced to 1. So I would suggest that the way they played that end, I would have been looking at throwing the double instead of that shot.
And just a hair heavy from Sofia Mabergs. Slides just behind the tee line. So this is a chance for Team Ha potentially to get themselves in a little more control than they have been in thus far. But yeah, you're right, Chelsea. Maybe just, again, a little bit of that inexperience on the Team Ha side. You think, well, we make this really good freeze, and what if Anna misses? Well, at this level of the game, you can't really rely on your opposite number missing too often.
No, definitely not. And I mean, even more so when it's Anna Hasselborg. So it's just a questionable call. I don't want to say it's a junior call, but that's the kind of thing where when you're hoping for a miss from the other team, that's sort of what I equate it to. Is in juniors you might get that. At this level of a Grand Slam, you're likely not going to. So I don't think skipping yourself into hoping for a miss is ever really a great idea.
Yeah, this is the world number 3 we're talking about, former Olympic gold medalist, 8-time slam champion Anna Hasselborg, and an unfortunate miss for Tae Young, and so Sofia with a chance to put a red stone right on top of her own, or on top of the yellow, either or, and this is going to be another good start to the end for Team Hasselborg. It's a pretty good spot for that.
I would have liked it to curl a little bit more, but it ends up being pretty good because there isn't really much Team Ha can do with it that doesn't kill their yellow. At this point, you probably want to kill your yellow, but it's a little scary to leave them sitting 2 and throwing.
Reminder, we do have the other women's quarterfinal for you here on the Home Team Network. It is Ayaka Yoshimura facing off against Rachel Homan. Yoshimura beat Homan in the round robin and is currently leading this game 2-1. Homan has the hammer playing 4. Tyler George and Brent Lang on the call for that one. If you want to have the dual box open, get both these games going, or if you're in Canada, you can also watch it with the full Sportsnet crew and package. They're covering both of our games here, so lots of options to take in this quarterfinal Saturday here at the AMJ Players Championship, as this looks well light from Tae Young. Seen this a couple times out of Tae, just pulls the string, and it actually ended up going quite a bit further than I thought it was going to go. That was a really good sweep by Hee-Rin Kim.
Yeah, a great sweep, but you have to wonder if that was, the weight might have been okay out of her hand, but a little softer release, and so then it's going to hit that break point much sooner, which will drag the weight off a little bit as well, and then ends up over curling. So not a terrible spot, but not as usable as they would have hoped.
And again, consistent from Anna, peeling that guard the first opportunity she gets. So the guard will go back up, Hee-Rin Kim. This Team Ha made it to a semifinal earlier this year, losing to Rachel Homan in Nisku at the Co-op Canadian Open. So they would love to make it another semifinal appearance here. Again, the winner of this game will move on to face Silvana Tirinzoni tonight. 7:30 p.m. Eastern. We'll have all the men's and women's semifinals at the same time. Should be rocking here at the Mattamy Athletic Center. So the guard goes up, and Agnes Knockenhauer going to try to get rid of it, but didn't love the throw out of her hand. This is maybe going to flirt with the rocks in the house. Uh-oh.
Well, she got a little lucky there to spin that out through the hole. That was not a good effort from Agnes. Very uncharacteristic of her.
Yeah, she throws the big weight as good as anybody on the women's side of the game, and that was just, yeah, not a great throw from Agnes, unfortunately.
That is, again, the straighter side, but the teams should know that by now. That has been the case on this sheet all week.
What did I say? We would see a timeout from Team Ha in the first half of the game.
Don't you love it when they make you look smart?
I do. I do, but it's also they do it almost every single game, so it's not that smart if you watch a lot of their games, but yeah, timeout called here.
On the right side.
So for Team Ha, what's the discussion here, Chelsea? Is it just around how aggressive you want to be, given the miss from Knockenhauer?
Yeah, I think it's to do with, do you try to get shot stone or not? Because the most natural call seems like the freeze. You also could throw a chase and try to get a force that way, just kill that red and roll away. But it looks like they're going to try to pile up the middle and put a little bit of pressure on. Basically, it's a scoreboard discussion, because the scoreboard says you would like to try to steal if you had the chance to, but a force is okay. So I think just deciding which strategy they're looking to employ here.
It's looking like a draw of some kind, or maybe a guard even.
Yeah, I think it's maybe a freeze.
Trying to freeze on this out-turn side here. They just showed the Banana Boys on the screen here, getting a reaction from the crowd, although I have to say they look a few short of a bunch this morning.
Yeah, I think they've been enjoying all the festivities from what I understand.
Yes, I think so. I think some of them might be trying to get a little less ripe this morning. So that maybe came a little deeper than they were hoping. And now Sarah McManus is going to come down and take a look. It is only 1 red to 3 Ha stones in the rings. And Ha is shot.
Jag tycker den är jättebra den här. Den också? Ja, alltså så länge du får touch på 5:an så kommer 7:an alltid stanna. Känns bara som att jag viktar så mycket, men okej. Jag gillar det här, Sara! Ja. Så 8, men jag är rädd att vi rullar. Är 8:an eller?
So they're trying to move this shot stone. I don't know how much weight they're throwing here, but it looks like a decent amount with where that broom is.
Yeah, I think just trying to run it into kind of the pocket and roll to a freeze, to a corner freeze on the widest yellow there. So hitting this Probably 3/4 high on the broom side.
Rolls a little far for the freeze, but does get rid of 2 Ha stones. Hasselborg line shot now.
Yeah, that must have been the call, because if you were playing for the roll, you would have not swept that the same way. So just trying to make the double sit first and third.
So we saw on that shot, Agnes Knockenhauer kind of peeled off, didn't follow the sweep of that stone, left it to Sophia and just called over the in-house dock here at the GSOC, Danielle. So keep an eye on that. Don't know if there's some kind of injury going on there that she's trying to manage.
I was wondering what was happening with that. Hopefully she's okay.
Yeah, we hope so. Trying to get some separation here is Hirin Kim. Not a bad shot, but the double's probably there if they want it. Certainly the hit and roll to freeze is. So just a hit and roll over towards the second shot stone for Sarah McManus. Agnes Knockenhauer back on the brush here, so got to get by this center guard though. They are by. Now do they have any roll? A little bit, but not quite enough.
Good sweep to get that by.
Yeah, really good sweep. Yeah, it does look like Agnes is limping a little bit here on the side. So maybe it's not a arms problem with the brushing, but something to do with her legs. So for Sung Yoon Ha, again, trying to get separation here with her first. Lie to and not leave Anna with a double. And they get no inside roll, but there's not really a double there either.
No, I think it ended up okay, but that wasn't really very, like you could roll all the way out the other side. And
yeah.
They seemed to think that was going to curl a lot more than it did. That's based on the line call.
Även om jag typ såhär, om jag skulle åka dit och hon klappar så är det konstigt. Jag kan aldrig vecka så. Jag tycker att det inte blir bättre. Ja, jag vickar lite så. Kanske bästa. Är det inte dumt? Är det typ en 11,5 eller? Det händer ju ganska mycket i scenen. 11,5.
So we see the indication there from Sarah McManus, just a hit and maybe a hair roll to the outside, just in front of that yellow stone. Let's try to make any hit that Sung Yoon Ha could play to set up a double on Anna's last, maybe for 2.
Or for the blank. If you roll this away, you might see Team Ha take on the double, and then if they stuck it, which it would be probably hard to do, then Anna might have the double for the blank.
Yeah, it looked like they changed the call, and they're actually going to try and roll behind the center guard now. Sophia Maberg's trying to bring this over, and that will do the same thing that Sung Yoon's did, just kind of stuck, just stuck right there.
Making up words all over the place
Yes,
today.
yeah, I know. Well, I got caught in between saying stuck and stayed, and somehow it came out as stuck. So I'll just, you know what? Maybe I'll just go have a nap. The couch from last night is still here. It's just over there.
It
so
does
I
look
could,
awfully inviting.
Yeah. Bella Lang is currently sitting on it, but I think she would understand if I needed to have a mid-game nap here due to my language difficulties. So last rock, Sung Yoon Ha, again, just trying to get this rock in the right spot to not leave Anna any sort of double. Tae Young picking this up right away. This is really moving. Really moving. You cannot roll the shooter out of the house. And that ended up perfect.
Wow.
Little bit of panic, but maximum separation between those two stones for Sung Yoon Ha. Great shot, and Anna Hasselborg will be forced to draw. That was half a foot away from absolute disaster, Chelsea.
Yeah, a little lucky even that they got away with it as much as they did. Did touch that second yellow, really couldn't afford to move that very far either, but by touching it, increased the separation. So a little bit of a break there for Team Ha.
So final stone here for Anna Hasselborg. Final stone of the first half of the game. Needs just a little better than full 8 foot for her one. Hockenhauer and Malberg starting to pick this up now. Just need full 8. And that looks perfect from Anna Hasselborg. So she will settle for one here in the fourth. We'll take a 2-point lead to the fourth end break. We're going to take a 3-minute break. Don't go anywhere.
Every day you go new places. A small change in how you do things, or moving your things to a whole new town, or many things to many towns all at once. No matter how small the move, it can be a big leap from where you are now. You've got it in you to go new places. So do we. We go there every day. We're here to help you move to places on the map, in the mind, in the heart, or all three.
Go new places with AMJ Campbell. Contact us at 888-AMJ-MOVE or amjcampbell.com.
When you've conquered another game, a long day, a job well done, and the final work call, we're your place. Come as you are and fit in comfortably. Mr. Mike's. Eat locally, enjoy casually.
Mattamy Athletic Center.
Hello, curling fans, and welcome back inside the Mattamy Athletic Center here in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, home of the 5th and final stop on the Grand Slam of Curling 2024-2025 season. It's the AMJ Players Championship women's quarterfinal action between Team Anna Hasselborg and Team Sung-Yoon Ha. John Cullen alongside it. Chelsea Carey with you for this one. And Chelsea, it's been mostly Hasselborg all the time, but maybe a little bit of momentum creeping in for Team Ha in that fourth end. They played really well and were able to force Anna to one.
Yeah, got a few little mistakes and were able to take advantage of them from Anna Hasselborg. So a really big force. It does feel to me like, I don't know if I would say the momentum shifted, but that kept Team Ha in the game. If they gave up more than one there, they were in trouble.
So it is 3-1. Hasselborg leads. Winner of this game will move on to tonight's semifinal against Silvana Tiranzoni. And you can see Agnes Knockenhauer missing that first rock of the end from a sweeping perspective, but it did look like she got taped up at the break. So whatever was bugging her hopefully will be a little less of an issue now. You can see her talking to Dr. Danielle there behind the sheet. Oh, and here we go. Sophia getting in on the action, sweeping her own stones. Unfortunately, this is not a great throw. Draw was the call here. This is going to end up as a double center guard. That is well short. For those of you just tuning in, Sung-Yoon Ha playing with 3. Sujin Kim absent this morning. Haven't really got word as to the reason why she's here. They have been playing with 4 this week, but not here this morning. So hopefully whatever is keeping her out of this game is not something long term and she feels better.
라인도 혼자 만들어주게. 9. 라인 좋아. 냅둘게. 너무 오버 걸려. Helvete. Ja, jag ska. Ja. 속도타기 잘 났다. 잘 봤어. Jag tycker den är bra. 4. Men hej linjen! Sara Fren! 8. Sara Fren!
So draw around the corner guard made, and now Agnes Knockenhauer trying to come around these center guards. That double center up, we may be in for some action here. None of the ends have been particularly chaotic. I want there to be some junk here. Sung-Yoon Ha usually likes to have rocks in play, but Anna's kind of prevented her from doing that a lot of these ends. But I say no more.
You say chaos time.
I say chaos time. You know I love chaos.
Chaos is really fun for the viewer.
100%. For the commentators, for the viewers, it is truly what we love to see. They call me Johnny Chaos because I love it so much. Chase is on for Tae-Yong here. Hyerin Kim picking this up right away. This is really flirting with these center guards, and in fact, I think it's actually taking this center guard out for a date. Never mind flirting with it. It is all over that center guard. Does roll to a corner, though. That's actually kind of nice. That yellow stone would have been available for a chase for Anna, and I think now it's not. To the point where she's sort of looking at, do we want to double peel these?
You have to be a little careful about the double peel coming back onto that red stone as well in the top of the forefoot. I obviously think it won't. So going to look for the double peel and roll to another center guard and cover the in-turn side of that shot stone as we look at it here.
I think you identified correctly early, Chelsea. There's a clear game plan in place for this team, Hasselborg. I think you would see some teams just either throw the guard outright or put another red rock in the house around those staggered centers. But again, another fairly defensive call from Team Hasselborg, and that rolls too far.
나는 지금 2개 만드는 거. 이거 안으로 최대한 만들어 볼게.
Another look at it here. Yellow does go through the hole, but could not save that shooter.
49야, 40.
So we'll allow the chase now for Team Ha. This is the straighter side, though, so a little bit trickier.
Tae Young picking this up right away. That's very nice from Hee-Rin Kim. Got to move that red far enough, though. And they do, just out the back.
Perfect weight control.
Yeah, nice sweep there from Tae Young as well. Like you said, Chelsea, the straighter side of the ice, so playing a little less weight to try and get that little curl in there, and it paid off for them. It's a double try here for Sarah.
Looks like it. Certainly makeable and right in Sarah McManus's wheelhouse. Not a lot of weight, though, so maybe even just a hit and roll.
Oh, very nice from Sarah McManus. Controlled weight.
What's going on there, John?
Tyler George sitting right beside me, asking about the three-person lineup for Team Ha. Not sure. We haven't got an update, so we don't know what the three-person lineup is all about. But Tae Young was here this week, so I'm guessing it's. We might need our intrepid junior reporter Bella Lang on the case here. But yeah, we didn't receive word as to why Tae is not here, but yeah. Probably some sort of injury or illness, I'm guessing. So nice shot from Sarah McManus. Team Ha completely ignoring it. They're going to come around these center guards here. Sorry for the interruption from our commentary team next door.
천천히 봐도 되겠다. 14분? 14분. Vad friställer? Eller försöka jaga. Skulle vi ticka i garden är inte Nej, det älskar jag inte. Men jag kan ändå kanske jaga men bara kotta. Det är inget kul att bara bli kvar med den här däremot. Vad fryser? Bara frys.
So not much to do here but throw the freeze. The good news for Team Hasselborg is that yellow did come fairly deep, so you can shrink the scoring area at least a little bit by making a good one here.
Bra linje! Mamma! Bra linje, bara fart! Inget dutt! Mamma nu! Nej! Behöver Karla! Wow! Bra linje nu! Ni kan gå! Nej! Karla! Bra linje! Perfekt linje. Håll igång den. Okej.
It's two great throws from Sarah McManus, flashing both skills there, making the double takeout, and then makes the perfect freeze. Really nice pair of rocks.
좀 벌려놔야 되지. 약간 얘 그냥 한 티?
Alltså absolut. Alla dagar i veckan. Du kan till och med...
Alltså alla dagar.
This is what you were talking about, Chelsea. Whole team coming down to take a look for Team Ha.
Senare i veckan.
Surprisingly, both teams quite a bit of time.
Yeah.
They've been playing pretty quick here.
It's been, to your point, the lack of chaos helps with that.
Yes.
There hasn't needed to be many discussions because it's been quite open, really.
look like the broom is down.
Unlike the sheet next door.
Yeah,
which
totally.
has had a ton of rocks in play every end.
Yes, no question. Rachel's had a few chances at the hero shot, hasn't made it. That game also available on Home Team Network. Sayaka Yoshimura leading 3-1 over Rachel Homan. Homan does have the hammer. They're also in the fifth end. So is it just another freeze here, Chelsea? Are they hitting this open one? No.
My guess is they're trying to unlock the freeze, so stay somewhere close to the nose and just move the yellow back far enough that they could potentially remove the red later.
So the first time that Haas really had something cooking with hammer. So they could get this tap back to freeze going well. Would love for it to sit for third shot, and it does. Great shot from Hee-Rin Kim.
Yeah, the only problem is it didn't curl enough. So now I think that way the freeze lines up, it's going to still go on to that back yellow.
Yeah, Anna hasn't really been looking at that option, at least not so far. There we go, now she's considering it.
Yeah, I don't know that she needs to do it, but if Team Ha wanted to try it, I think they probably just straight jam on their own yellow.
So Team Hasselborg going to take their first of 2 timeouts. Coach Christian Lindstrom not here this week, so this will be a solo team effort. I think they did tell me at the local establishment last night that they were going to consider bringing me on to coach, but I told them I was busy up here in the booth. I think they were impressed with my 100% record.
Yeah, obviously you're going to be highly sought after now.
Well, you know, 1-0 speaks for itself.
Ja, nej, precis. Det jag var inne på var att man skulle göra något sånt här, men då sa ju så gör ju de den TT, så det är ingen bra. Gard, jag tror att det är verkligen gard. Ja. Tror du att det är lättare att komma så eller vill du gå över så? Nej, så. Ja. Med tanke på att du hade bara där. Ja. Jag tror att vi är typ i AMJ där, vi kan till och med hålla lite mer höjd.
Is a guard here?
Ja, vill du ner?
I think it might be, yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Jag tror att vi...
Right on the J and AMJ.
Yeah, lost in all of our discussion is that Hasselborg is shot.
Yes. Yeah, by playing that shot for Team Ha, you knew you were going to leave Hasselborg shot, and that's a risk that they decided to take on. So for Anna, thinking that maybe they can make this tap and kill that red stone, so just going to throw a guard. They looked at the wide red to see if Team Ha could come off of that to shot stone. I think that they don't think that's there. It is very, very flat.
First stone, Anna Hasselborg, fifth end. Just a guard. And it's pretty close to where they wanted. It is touching that J in the AMJ International logo.
Yeah, I didn't want it to curl any more than that, but it did stop in time.
그리고 나에게 써야 될 것 같아. 아니면 우리 거 1번 유지되면은 드로우 하는 거고. 아, 나오긴 나올 것 같아. 나오지 않아? 얇게라도. 롤이 날 것 같아. 여기까지. 더 가도 돼. 더 가도 돼. 빼내기 10. 여기까지 와도 되겠지? 10? 10 아닌 거 같아. 여기 10 괜찮을 것 같아. 여기. Jag tycker att det var tajt den dragningen. Jag tänker så här då... Antingen så ska ju vi dra efter där. För att bara stänga där. 약하게 안 하면 될 것 같아.
So they're going to try the in-off here, hit and roll in. Guess that out-turn draw is pretty darn tough, H-Else?
Yeah, I think to get between the port, and by port, I don't mean those long guards near the center line. I mean the wide one below the A and the rock in the top of the forefoot. I think the only way you could get through that port is with more weight than draw. You'd have to throw probably back line to hack to get through there. So I don't think it's possible.
So with that draw not available, this is really Sung Yoon Ha's only way into the forefoot, into the button area. So this is pretty big, even though it's her first stone. This might be her only chance to score here.
Yep. Whoa. Clean, clean, yep. Yep. Whoa, 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 whoa. Quiet, quiet. Here, why the quiet, quiet.
Does sound close. And unfortunately does not quite get that roll. And now if Anna Hasselborg can make this hit and roll in Chelsea, this is a really good steal opportunity.
Yeah, they've been caught on that a few times where they're thinking it's going to finish more than it's actually going to, especially on the straight side of the sheet. And I heard one of them saying curl, and she was right, but unfortunately didn't get enough of that curl. You don't even need to roll. If you hit this on the nose, I don't know how you get in there for a point.
Yeah, good point. I think that's what they're just discussing now.
You could maybe run if you ran the Anna's red guard back onto those two frozen rocks, I think the red, even though it might jam on that back yellow, I think you might be shot at the top if you did that. So that's probably your way to score one.
Sara! Hur sned är den att försöka sätta den mot bakre? Alltså försöka dubbla så! Där! Okej. Spelar som en klipp och så skippar du på den!
Don't know exactly why they were maybe lining up that double, but just a hit here for Anna Hasselborg, maybe a little inside roll. Oh, no, she's just peeling it, I guess.
Yep, whoa! Yep, whoa! 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 Yep, hey! Yep, hey! Yep, yep! Ah, sorry.
Playing the double, but I'm not really sure why.
Yeah.
I think that yellow rock there helps you because your red's going to go onto it.
Yeah, a little bit of a confusing call. I was agreeing with you, Chelsea. I think if you nose, or especially if you get just a hair inside where your second shot, I don't know how Sung Yoon Ha scores. Is this what they were worried about? This angled double?
Maybe, which is there, but
yeah, I don't know. Seemed a little strange. I'm sort of the mind I'd, love to leave my opponent a really hard shot facing two, and if they make it, like, happy birthday.
yeah, and if you sit there, if you just hit that on the nose, then if she makes this, it's only for one because your shooter would be second shot.
All right, well, this would be a pretty phenomenal shot if Sung Yoon Ha makes it. It'd be a shot of the week candidate, no question. This is an angle pick double for two. Final stone for the young Korean.
Yep! Whoa! Whoa! Quiet! Quiet, quiet, quiet! Clear,
This really needs to curl. And unfortunately just thins it, and so it will be a steal of one for Anna Hasselborg. They will increase their lead to 3. We'll see if Ha can get the car started after this.
Going undefeated through a national championship and being able to actually pull it off and win it is just an absolute dream come true.
Having 2 new junior players new to the team, Kibo and I really felt like our experience was what we had to bring out and share in that final day in Lethbridge. And drawing on our experience, we knew that 2 older guys on the team, we kind of had to remain calm and act as leaders. Trying to basically share the excitement and the joy that I have for the game and the passion with younger people, older people, people starting. That, I would say, is the biggest thing that I want to take for myself and show others, is the love that I have for this sport.
Yeah, seeing Laurier continue to succeed and achieve amazing things is just so exciting. Whenever I check in and see how they're doing at U Sports and see them winning and succeeding, it's just so exciting. And I remember my time there so fondly, and I'm just so excited for the group that's there right now.
See, I don't know if we've fully made sense of it up here. Not sure what she felt she needed to make the double for, but didn't matter. Did get a steal of 1 on the board, but you have to think could have been a steal of 2 potentially if she just played the hit and roll.
Yeah, even if you didn't roll, if you hit that on the nose, then the angle run that Team Ha played, I think would have only been for a single point. So I don't know why. I've got no explanation for why you would throw the double there, but.
Yeah, no, I agree. It seemed like an odd call and kind of a lot of discussion too.
A lot of discussion.
Felt like a fairly straightforward call for us in the booth. Obviously, everything's easy in the booth, and we've talked about it from the start of the game. This team Hasselborg playing just a little bit more defensively, and it's working out for them. They're leading 4-1. They've been in full control of basically every end. And I'm guessing for Team Ha, starting to run out of time a little bit here. This might be the end where you try to apply a little bit more pressure, because they really haven't been able to get much going with the hammer here.
No, they definitely need at least 2 here. If you go deuce, force, deuce, you're still going to an extra end without the hammer. So really important for Team Ha to hang something crooked on the board here. It would be really nice if it was a 3.
I'd love that for them. Yep, I'd agree. It's usually what I told my team. Boys, be pretty nice if we scored a 3 here. And I go, yeah, you're right, John. Good idea.
What a concept.
Yeah, good idea. That's why we have you here. We didn't think of that. We thought we were only going to score 2, but then you said we should score 3, and we thought, you know what? Good call.
Yeah, we were going to throw it through and just get our 2, but turns out maybe we'll consider the draw for 3.
Yeah, why not? So the center guard not quite curling enough to cover that initial draw, Sophia Mabergs, but doesn't matter, doesn't change the script much for Ha here. It looks like they're trying to throw the double corner. It's well thrown from Tae Yong. Not the usual second on this team. Or sorry, not the usual lead on this team, rather. Sujin Kim out for this game, so Tae given the task of throwing these guards and draws, and have to say she's been getting the end set up pretty good for someone who's maybe not used to playing lead.
Yeah, she certainly has. It's been a good battle at the lead position on both sides. Sophia Maberg's also having a great game.
Agnes Knockenhauer now trying to draw around this center guard. Nay. I said, quick, do an impression of a horse. So a little heavy from Agnes. Redstones, I wouldn't say any of the 3 are in exactly the position they would have wanted them in.
No, that one, the weight would have been okay if it got more curl, but it kind of bounced off into not quite a pocket, but almost a pocket. And with any little tap here from Team Ha, it would be hard to get rid of their yellow stone.
근데 아웃터는 바깥쪽 해도 괜찮으니까 B 플랜 이게 더 있을 것 같은데. 인턴은 바깥쪽이면 없어.
Nej, det var samma parter som de andra har varit. Ja.
Draw here for Tae Yong. A reminder, we will be back at 3:30 local time, just about 2.5 hours from now. That's 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific. For men's quarterfinal action, it'll be Team John Epping against Team Brad Jacobs and Team Matt Dunstone versus Team Mike McEwen. 2 all-Canadian battles. Looking forward to that. We will have both of those for you at 3:30 with full commentary. And tonight, Chelsea, I believe here on the Home Team Network, we are going to have all 4 semifinals with commentary. The first time we've ever done that on the Home Team Network, commentary for every game. So looking forward to that too.
Yeah, it should be fun. If you can't be here in Toronto, the building will probably be rocking tonight. So if you are in Toronto, I suggest you come watch it live. But if not, we will have you covered with full commentary on all 4. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, the Grand Slam of Karaoke goes tonight as well at the Courtyard Marriott, which is just a block or so from the arena here. Starts at 10 p.m. Tickets are available at the Rock Shop if you're here in Toronto. There may be some available at the door tonight too. Peel made for Agnes Knockenhauer. I may or may not be making my GSOK debut tonight.
Ooh.
I said, you know what the GSOK doesn't have enough of? Death metal. So that's what I'm bringing to the table tonight.
That is a choice.
Yeah. I figure curling fans are also big Cannibal Corpse fans. So
seems about right.
Yeah. So I'm going to see if I can dial that in. Bringing another rock into the pile here is Team Ha. Hasselborg still lying 2 for the moment. Just taps it. Hasselborg still lying 1 here.
Intern tap.
So Sarah McManus is going to come down and take a look. We've got our first little taste of chaos here, Chelsea.
It's not quite all the way there yet, but it's chaos adjacent. It could lead to something good here.
So I would describe my teenage years as well.
Chaos adjacent.
Not fully chaos, but chaos adjacent, definitely. Taste of Chaos, also the name of a concert tour I went to back in the day. Cannibal Corpse not there, though.
Oh, disappointing.
Yeah. So what did they end up deciding here, Chelsea?
I'm guessing a guard, but I didn't see a final indication.
Yeah, me neither. It seems like tight ice for a guard.
Yeah, I agree. My Swedish isn't very good, though, so that's all I
know,
got.
I'm working on it, but it's not going well. I've had Anna on Broom Brothers twice this year. I've done 2 features with her this year. My Swedish is not getting any better.
Oh, that's too bad.
I know. So it looks like they're maybe trying to freeze here based on this weight.
Yeah, it looks like the freeze with the speed. They're going to have to go if that's the call, though.
Yeah. Yeah, a little light from Sarah McManus, but double guard's not horrible considering their shot stone.
No, the problem is I think that those 2 yellows are really queued up to go on to that red. So in theory, if you were a Team Ha and you wanted to, you could run those double guards, don't even have to throw it hard. Make any contact with the top yellow, which it's hard to not do if you play the double run. And I think you'd be sitting shot, but only shot 1.
So Team Ha taking their second time out here. Saw Rachel Homan take one on the sheet next door and thought that looks like fun. Why don't we do that? So we'll listen in here.
그냥 가는 거? kunna skjuta cornern och rulla gard.
웨이트는요?
Då skulle vi, och får vi upp det,
많이 안 거의 안 보이는
där. Alltså så är det,
약간 그냥 방향전은
방향전. 약간 여기. 네. 틱.
Precis. Jag tänker att de kan få ner sin mittersta gula mot 백잇은 약할 것 같아요. 그러면 12 되지?
돼요. Ja, men så kan det vara. Men vi ligger inte bajs än.
So I'm not sure exactly what they decided here.
Or am I?
Thought I saw them maybe indicating like trying to tick that back red guard and roll behind the corner. But that feels really hard.
It also feels late in the end to worry about rolling behind the corner when there's such a mess of rocks in the middle.
I agree. I'm not saying that's what they're doing. I did see that was one of the gestures I saw. So we'll see what happens here. Might just be a case of trying to get another lemon in here. Tae Young trying to bring this over. I don't know how much that helped them.
I would suggest it hurt them. Those yellows were lined up really good before, and now they're not.
Yeah, I do think they were maybe trying to tick that back red guard. And then it just wasn't quite the right line. Because I don't know, I mean, they certainly weren't trying to do that.
No, that much we're quite sure of.
손만 돌렸는데 빠졌어. Alltså den är ju ett alternativ.
Ja, jag håller med. Jag håller verkligen med om att den är ett alternativ. Det enda är att sätter man inte vicken.
Nej, exakt. Men samtidigt så...
Men här då? Den och rulla dit. Men försök gadda, men hon har inte spelat corner direkt.
Tror du inte det?
Nej.
Tror du inte?
Tror ni att om vi gaddar, skicka om cornern då direkt?
Ja, jag tror också det.
Vad gillar ni då?
Ja, det var mitt slag.
Yes. Då behöver vi göra den. Vilken fart!
So are they just nervous that this yellow guard is maybe the only thing that's helping Ha right now?
Yeah, I think they're nervous about... It's a little hard to tell from here, but they're maybe nervous about if they angle run that yellow guard into the deeper of those two yellows, it might kind of go into the pocket of and kill both reds.
Yeah, it definitely looks like that's possible. So just a hit, and they're almost kind of trying to hit this just off nose and roll towards another center guard, I believe. Sarah McManus not throwing a ton of weight at this. And that will roll a little far, but not bad. I always found these shots so weird as a curler. Like, it's so unnatural to be playing kind of control weight at a guard or board weight at a guard.
Yeah, you're seeing it more and more, though, because it's sort of two shots in one. Rather than just throwing a guard, you eliminate a guard and roll to a better guard in theory if you make it. And the easiest way to make hits and rolls is with quiet weight. But yeah, it's a reasonably new evolution in the sport, and it still doesn't quite feel natural.
Totally. So I do wonder, though, if they open this up enough where, by not rolling to where they wanted to, if this leaves Team Ha with that shot without having to run the guard into it.
I do think it does, but they're looking at the guards anyway. But to me, the guards now don't look like they're lined up very well for the run for Team Ha. I think I'd be playing, you could freeze there. You could play a tap right now and try to sit shot. I think you, like red is still sitting 2 right now. I think you need to move a red rock.
Yeah, I'd agree. So it does look like they are going to try and get around these guards and just tick this yellow in towards the pile. That's a great look at it there from our camera team. You can definitely see it from the hack. It's definitely there. You can't throw a ton of weight. So big shot here for Hee-Rin Kim. They are throwing a lot of weight at it, just trying to thin these guards.
And she set that a little. It's going to have to curl.
Yeah, this needs to curl a lot. And wow, great shot from Hee-Rin Kim. Take another look at it here. Just gets enough of that yellow to get those 2 going.
You can see now what Anna Hasselborg was worried about, because if she made that exact same shot, but by running the corner guard, then there would have been a 3rd yellow in there.
Yes, totally. That's the one thing that worked out for Hasselborg there, but yeah, just unfortunate with Sarah McManus's stone that it rolled too far, although they are going to try to use it here to make a run double back, and if they do that, they might be lying 3. So big shot here for Anna Hasselborg. Sung Yoon Ha lying 2. Hasn't done that too much with the hammer. Haven't really said they're lying 2 right now. And Anna Hasselborg trying to make it so that that will no longer be the case. Big shot here, her first, 6th end. Oh boy.
Jinx.
Guess we both owe each other a Coke.
Well, if nothing else, we are dialed into each other.
Yes,
we may not know
exactly.
what they're calling or why, but we're dialed into each other.
Yeah, that was interesting. You got quite a good piece of that center guard, and they didn't call yes out of her hand. So I don't know if that was just a curly spot or what happened, but in any case, really bad result for Anna Hasselborg, who's been in firm control of this game, but now this is setting up for a potential big score for Sung Yoon Ha.
Just a discussion here around exactly where to put this. You would like to bury it, but you just really need to be careful about leaving a double for Anna.
First stone, Sung Yoon Ha. Chance to lie 3 and really put some pressure on Anna Hasselborg. Tae Young has been on this right out of the hand. And you need this to curl and stop. And that's pretty good. Sung Yoon Ha lies 3.
Looks like the same shot for Anna.
Yeah, can you ever get rid of all 3 here?
I don't think so. I think even getting rid of 2 is hard, honestly.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Especially like where that rock ended up. The way she was trying to make the run double before was that first top rock would have to be going right where that Sung-Young Ha's shooter is sitting right now. So I'm not sure it's possible to get rid of 2, but I don't know what else you do. I think you have to try it.
Yeah, you're gonna have to throw a bit of a rocket here and try and get rid of 2 stones. Anna Hasselborg needs something here. Final stone. She is throwing a rocket, all right. This is screaming down the sheet. Now, how many yellows do you got?
Oh, what a shot.
Great shot from Anna Hasselborg.
Right into the pocket and got both of the back two.
One of the rare times where you're happy to give up two here.
Yes, very happy.
That was excellent shot from Anna Hasselborg. Needed to throw a rocket, needed to throw it accurately. She did both. Gets rid of two yellows, and Sung Yoon Ha now just needs to draw it a full 12-foot to put two on the board. Her first multiple score of the game. Final stone, Sung Yoon Ha.
레이트만. 아니 냅두는 거야? 그냥 온다. 어디야? 좋아. 괜찮아.
Well, the crowd getting behind the Ha draw here. And well deserved, she makes it easily. So two will go on the board for the skip from Ganyang. Anna Hasselborg will have the hammer and a 1-point lead in the 7th. We'll be right back.
What do you play for?
I play.
Female athletes have a 40% higher chance of graduating from university. 94% of women in executive level positions participated in sports. 80% of girls who play sports report they have a higher self-confidence, self-esteem, and a more positive body image.
I play for me.
Well, Chelsea, we said before the end it might be nice if Sung Yoon Ha scored 3, and they got pretty dang close. Anna Hasselborg needing a really, really good shot on her last just to force Ha to 2, and we got a bit of a game here, 4-3 now.
Yeah, that third point would have been huge, but if they didn't score 2, as much as they would have continued to play, I would suggest the game would have been basically over. So now they have a chance. Still a long way to climb back here, though. You got to either steal, or force and get 2 and then steal the extra, or somehow hang a 3 at some point here for Team Ha.
언니 갖다 놓을까? 잠깐만. 갖다 놓는 게 나? 네. 저기 위에다 갖다 놓으면 될까? 저거 뒤에 있는 거에다가. 아이 기다려. 도와줘라. 이런 느낌이었는데. 그래 더 문 거 같아.
So the Hawstone goes back. Miss from Sophia Mabergs.
Sorry. 하나.
Anna said, okay, slow down.
Easy now.
It wasn't perfectly splitting the center line. Double center going up now. I think we talk about this all the time, Chelsea, but really for Ha,
Oh dear.
It's unfortunate for Tae Young hogging that rock, and now they're just going to draw the open side. I was just about to say, we talk often here, if you're the team with the hammer and a 1-point lead, blank here is almost as good as anything else.
It is what you would prefer if you got to choose, unless you were going to get the only way you wouldn't choose it is if you were going to get 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Probably 4, honestly.
So with that miss from Tae Young, does make that blank a little bit more of a reasonable proposition for Anna Hasselborg, which is why we're seeing Sophia draw into the wings here. So double center once again, the call.
빨라. 발까지 간다. 많이 빨라.
This looks a little bit better from Taeyong, although it might be on the heavy side here.
Yeah, it looks a little toasty to me. We've seen them do that a number of times in this game where they miss one and then they miss the next one a lot the other way. It's just that, that overcorrection.
Almost the worst possible spot for that one. This is an academic double peel for Agnes Knockenhauer. Not only do you get the double peel, but you're almost certainly losing your shooter too, if you make it properly. This is the turn that Agnes had a miss on earlier, but not the same spot of the ice. Ooh, this is floating. And there we go, caught the curl. Yeah, it's pretty good from Agnes. Would have loved to lose that shooter, but you get rid of both yellows.
Yeah, not a lot of coverage provided by that corner guard either. That's going to be helpful for Team Ha anyway, so I don't think you're that upset about that.
Team Ha is going to try it anyway. Let's double up this corner and see if we can't get something going around there to maybe get a backdoor force on Team Hasselborg.
I think I'd be tempted to throw at least one or two guards. I think this is eventually the call, but it might be a rock or two early for it. Problem is you're not going to get shot rock. They'll be shot at the back, so if you play it now, then you still at some point are going to have to play a hit, so that's maybe why they're looking at playing it a bit earlier.
Do you like double guarding on the corner, or would you just throw a center here and hope for a miss on appeal?
I think I'd throw the center just because I don't think you're going to get a miss on appeal, but at least make them waste a few rocks and then go in. And then, I mean, at this point, your best chance is just to try to sit two somehow.
So throwing a bit of a hybrid center here, kind of halfway between a corner and a center. This also has quite a bit of weight from Hirin. Peel made. And we'll see the guard get replaced here for Hirin.
약간 말린 느낌이긴 해.
Talking about the Olympics on the Korean side of things, for the Swedes, there is no play down. It is just simply a selection process, so we'll wait and see. They tend to do theirs a little early, I would imagine, maybe around the same time as the Korean playdowns or the trials. We will see who gets selected for Team Sweden, but I would think with the current gap in the World Curling Tour rankings between Anna Hasselborg and Isabella Vrano, it's, I would imagine, firmly in the side of Anna Hasselborg right now, world number 3 and two-time medalist at the Olympics, gold in 2018, bronze in 2022.
Yeah, I would be very surprised if it was not Team Hasselborg.
I think the big choice for Sweden is Sarah McManus chases this yellow one in the house and would love to lose the shooter to keep the blank in play, and she does. I think the big choice for Sweden is going to be on the mixed doubles side of things.
Yes.
Isabella and Rasmus Vrano winning the World Championships last year, but this year they were defeated in the Swedish playdowns by Anna Hasselborg and Oscar Eriksson. So we'll see Anna and Oscar in Fredericton, New Brunswick in that really crucial World Mixed Doubles. It's almost like, Chelsea, the world title itself doesn't matter as much as all the teams trying to jockey for Olympic position. And mixed doubles is probably the hardest world tournament these days, with how good some of these smaller nations have gotten at mixed doubles, and then obviously all the big nations quite good at it as well. So I think I was talking with Anna about it this week, and she was kind of suggesting that they know they need a really good result at Worlds to kind of cement themselves as the potential Swedish mixed doubles team for the Olympics, knowing that Rasmus and Isabella won the Worlds last year. So it'll be interesting to see what the Swedish Olympic Committee and Swedish curling decides, but that's the one to keep an eye on. I think we can probably feel fairly safe. It'll be familiar faces at the Olympics for the Swedes, Anna and Nicholas.
Mixed doubles Worlds is going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Yes.
That field is just stacked.
It's stacked.
Incredible.
Yeah, the one pool is insanity. It's, let me look it up here, but I was talking with Anna about that as well, and it's really tough. Yeah, the Group A has Canada, China, Germany, Italy, Scotland, South Korea, and Sweden, all in the same pool. So that is going to be tough to get out of.
No doubt.
You got the defending gold medalists in Constantini and Mozaner for Italy. You've got Dodds and Mowat, who had a really nice run at the 2022 Olympics. Kyung-Ae Kim, who we've seen out here this week, playing for Korea. Of course, Jocelyn Peterman, Brett Gallant for Canada. And China, we've seen, is, really starting to emerge once again on the world stage. So, yeah, just an absolutely stacked pool, particularly compared with the other pool, which doesn't look quite as daunting.
It's still tough.
Still
though.
tough,
I
though,
think
yeah.
Like Calvi Lille from Estonia are, I believe, the number one mixed doubles team in the world right now.
They're
so
excellent.
People that you don't necessarily know their names, and then you put in Alina and Sven as well, and Corey won the World Championship 2 years ago. So not quite as stacked as the other pool, but still really difficult.
It's just going to be tough.
That deep of fields.
Yeah.
Like there's no gimme spaces. There's no easy games here.
Yeah, exactly.
And Tally and Dean from Australia as well, one of the top-ranked mixed doubles teams in the world. So countries that we're not used to seeing as curling powerhouses that are very, very good at mixed doubles.
Yeah, totally. Matsumura and Tanita for Japan as well. They're specialists. So that's all they do is play mixed doubles, and they do a great job at it. As Sung Yoon Ha trying to freeze here, seeing if she can get anything generated against Hasselborg, but this looks a little bit heavy, and indeed it is. So now the choice here for Hasselborg, I guess, Chelsea, do you just pick this yellow out and try for the blank, or do you just roll over and go for two? It looks like they've decided to roll to the open. I guess you'd be worried if you ever did pick this out. If Sung Yoon Ha makes the perfect freeze, you might get forced.
Yeah. Sort of an insurance, if you stick it, you're probably going to have something for two. But worst case, you'll at least be able to score.
So it's a hit and roll here for Anna Hasselborg, looking to lie two with the hammer in the seventh. That hogged rock from Tae Young looming large over this end. Anna's been in control pretty much from the start. And that is made, and made pretty much perfectly. I don't think there's a double there for Sung Yoon Ha. Have to throw an absolute missile. But you might be able to hit and kind of roll up on top of that red potentially.
Yeah, you could, or you make the freeze and set up the jam on the side one if Anna played to kill it.
Yeah, I guess the only risk with that is you could
give up three.
Give up three, but realistically in this situation you'd give up two.
Yeah,
you're losing most of the time anyway.
Yeah, it's pretty much over. So I think the scoreboard dictates that taking a risk makes some sense. Try to make this freeze perfect and hope you get a bit of a miss out of Anna. Or at least she decides not to take the risk and just plays for the single point, and then you've got a chance.
Well, we saw Sung Yoon Ha make a great freeze a few ends ago. We'll see if she's up for the task again here. This has to be very precise. Final stone, seventh end.
라인 괜찮아. 웨이트만. 라인 여유 있어. 여유 있다. 라인 좋아. 라인 좋아. 야 그대로. 라인 진짜 좋아. 그대로. 라인 진짜 좋아. 그대로야 진짜 그대로야. 그대로 태희야. 안 돼. 그대로야. 빠르다.
It's close, but I think it's got maybe just too much weight. Oh, it's pretty good. Yeah, pretty good.
Would have loved to not bounce it even that much, but I think that always jams on the side if you throw the in turn at this.
And a really good shot from Sung-Yoon Ha.
And if you throw the out turn at it, you probably take your own rock on the way by, so you could give up a steal that way too.
They trying to play the straight pick here?
Maybe.
It's risky.
It is risky. The only thing is that even if you don't make the straight pick, if you hit this back rock very thin, the yellow might go underneath that red on the side, so you might get one out of it that way.
Anna Hasselborg making a great shot last end to save herself from giving up 3 with the big weight. Needs another one here. Final stone, just trying to pick this yellow off the top for 2. And how about that? Fabulous shot from Anna Hasselborg. Just feathers that yellow stone off the top of the red. They were looking like scoring 2 all end, but it got a lot more difficult than they expected. What a shot from Anna Hasselborg. They lead 6-3.
The rock faces around Lake Tahoe are legendary. But this fall, new ones will emerge in the Tahoe Basin. Pullman, Mowat, Gushu, and more. November 4th through 9th, the Grand Slam of Curling's first ever event in the U.S. is coming to Lake Tahoe, where the greatest rock stars on earth unite for 6 days of incredible curling, celebrity appearances, and après curl parties you won't want to miss. Get your tickets at thegrandslamofcurling.com. Let's rock!
A crucial shot made from Anna Hasselborg. Not quite shot of the week material, but pretty darn close. Very high degree of difficulty. Just shading that Sung-Yoon Ha freeze off the top of her own stone. Missing the jam on the side. Scores the 2. Anna Hasselborg now leads 6-3. Winner of this women's quarterfinal will move on to face Silvana Tirinzoni tonight. And that was one of those, Chelsea, I feel like, you know, you obviously skipped a lot of your life. It's really hard, I think anyway, to sort of bear down for a shot like that when you feel like we've been dominating the whole end. How is my last shot this hard?
Yeah, definitely. But at the same time, what you need to be trying to do, and what Anna Hasselborg is very good at, is look at it as, finally I have an opportunity to really take the stranglehold on this game that I feel like I should have already had.
Well, she has done that, leading by 3 now, and if Sofia Mabergs can make a corner rock tick here, it's going to be very hard for Sung-Yoon Ha to find her way back in this. This looks close. That's very nice from Sofia Mabergs. Well managed by Knockenhauer and McManus, and just like that, 3 got a lot more difficult for Sung-Yoon Ha.
Yeah, big time. And if you've been tuning into any of the games that I've called this week, you know already how I feel about those corner guard ticks.
She hates them.
That needs to go away. Do you know who agrees with me? the owner of the curling group.
Everyone?
Nick Salsky, I'm sure agrees with me more than anyone because that just takes all the offense away from this end.
Yeah, going to be very difficult for Sung Yoon Ha to manage the 3 now, even with this guard going up for Tae Yong. This is also off the center line, so if Anna was so inclined, she could remove this guard or she could just chase this yellow in the house.
Yeah, the problem is it overcurled and showed the wrong side, so you can risk-free chase this. If you feather the guard, you move it off, you're okay with that too.
So Agnes Knockenhauer really looking to get her team in the driver's seat here if they weren't already. Get rid of this yellow, and it's just going to be a numbers game after that for Team Hasselborg. Nothing at all from Sophia and Sarah, though. Oh, okay, well. That might be the miss that Sung Yoon Ha needed. I mean, she probably needs 2 misses, so that's 1.
If you only needed 2, that's the miss you need.
Yeah.
But needing 3, they're not dead yet, but they're still on life support.
So they're guarding this rock in the outside 12-foot here.
This is heavy and wide. They're calling the audible, playing a little chip.
Oh boy. This looks like a maybe a little crotch double.
Yeah, it's there for sure, but I don't know how far your shooter goes.
Yeah, for sure. Could also chase the one in the house if you were so inclined. I'd be less inclined to do that, but you could.
Yeah, I agree with you on all counts there. I like peeling something. I think you try the double peel, and if you stick your shooter there, it's still your rock. You could also try I don't think the triple is quite there. I think it's too steep, but if you played the double peel and hit the right-hand side rock a little bit too thick, you might get that side one anyway.
Well, Anna disagrees with us. They are going to chase this open one in the 12-foot.
I mean, eliminating a yellow stone is not wrong. You need to hit something yellow regardless.
Yeah, now Team Ha only has 5 rocks left. They need to make 3 of them count. Anna probably just feeling like even if Sung Yoon Ha makes a great draw behind these guards, you can get rid of both of them in one shot.
Yeah.
So that's probably the rationale behind chasing that one in the house.
Yeah, definitely that's a factor, those two. And that's why I don't dislike the call in theory to guard that rock in the house, but it was hard not to group your guards by doing it. So I don't know that I would have been looking at throwing that. You could have thrown a corner guard on the other side. You could have come around the one that was there and just buried it. But I understand wanting to protect, but it's hard not to set up a double peel for one of the best double peeling teams in the game.
Draw the call for Hee-Rin Kim. Again, a reminder, we will be back with you in just under 2 hours' time, 3:30 local, 12:30 Pacific, for the men's quarterfinals. John Epping facing off against Brad Jacobs, Matt Dunstone against Mike McEwen. You won't want to miss that, so join us on Home Team Network.
Oh, dear.
Well, that's a disaster.
That is a complete disaster. That might be the miss that you need.
Yeah, Sarah McManus going by everything here. Leaves 2 corner guards and 1 buried behind it. Oh my.
You're still going to need some help here, but that's a big step in the right direction for Team Ha.
I'll say. Yeah, usually when you have to get 3, you do need 3 full misses from your opposition in order to do so. They're up to 1.5. And that's A little unlucky for Team Ha. That's wide open and a relatively easy double here for Sarah McManus.
Yeah, got the opportunity and then kind of just handed it back here.
I don't know that Anna actually called that timeout, but they gave it to them anyway. She looked like she was motioning, getting ready to motion for a timeout, and then decided not to call it. I don't know if she's realized that. I don't think it matters a ton. They've got 3.5 minutes left, but. So the double here for Sarah McManus, and if she makes this, Sung Yoon Ha will have to make all 3 of her remaining stones count just to get the tie. And she does make it. So nice shot there from Sarah McManus. A little unlucky for Team Ha that they couldn't get that stone in a better position. And now, like I said, they're going to need to make all 3 of these remaining stones count. So yeah, you can hear now Sarah McManus talking to the official about how their timeout came off the board when they didn't actually call it, but I don't think it matters a whole lot, like I said. Unfortunately for Hee-Rin, that's the shot she needed on her first one.
Yeah. Yeah, well made there, but one shot too late, unfortunately.
Should be pretty straightforward for the Swedes now. Get rid of one of these guards and hit one of the rocks in the house on your last. First stone for Anna Hasselborg, 8th end, leading by 3. And that's a good shot again from Anna Hasselborg. That gets a reaction from the Banana Boys.
살짝 이쪽에 살짝 보여주기 싫어가지고 그래도 살짝만
So it looks like Ha is going to try and make this into a bit of a hybrid guard, but in the house. Obviously, you need this one to be touching paint or it's game over.
And not a lot of good places to go here. That guard is too far over for you to be. If you're buried, then the back rock will be wide open, and if you're not buried, then both rocks are, then your shooter at least is wide open. So for Anna Hasselborg, gonna just have to kill one of these, but stranger things have happened. Throw this and pray for a pick.
웨이트 원, 라인 룸. 아니 웨이트 빨라 보인다. 네, 천천히 봐. 아직이야. 비슷해 보여. 아직이야. 여기까지만. 오, 천천히. 그냥 온다.
It's pretty much exactly where they wanted it. Really well thrown stone from Sung Yoon Ha, but it is going to be wide open for Anna Hasselborg. So she's made a lot of great upweight shots so far this game, and she just needs one more here to seal the deal and move on to the semifinal tonight. Final stone for Anna Hasselborg in the 8th, and likely the final stone of the game. Just needs to make one of these yellows go away. And that's an easy clean. So a really well played game from the Swedish rink from Sundbyberg. That will be a 6-3 victory, a valiant run for Sung Yoon Ha, but it comes to an end here in the quarterfinals. Anna Hasselborg will move on to tonight's semi against Silvana Tirinzoni. As for us, we'll be back in about 90 minutes time with men's quarterfinals here on the Home Team Network. Please join us then. For Chelsea Carey and everyone here at HTN, I've been John Cullen. Thanks for tuning in. Goodbye.
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatoon in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbeck coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsoctickets.com. Let's rock!